All right, let's see. I didn't change any of the stuff. The follower goals still from June. My gosh. How's everybody doing out there? Oh, great. I got a feedback loop here to turn off my volume. It's been so long, I'm out of practice, but I did want to get in here and give you guys a little bit update, show you some of the work that I have been doing when I can. Yeah, it's a long lost Dave. I hope everybody's doing a lot better than me, but let me see if I can get through this here today. Um, I have been working on the 16x map, but yeah, things in life have not been good. So we'll leave it at that. uh, I wasn't going to do a live show because I did, but I do want to give you guys an idea of what I have been doing back here. So, how's it going today? Yeah, glad to see you there, KW and everybody. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Can't answer a lot of questions as far as when the map's going to be done or anything like that because, quite honestly, I don't even know where I'm going to be living in a month. That's just the way it is. Uh, or what kind of internet connection I'm going to have or anything like that. So I've just been doing what I can do while I can do it and uh, pushing forward to get some of the map transformation turned over to the. Yeah, I'm just waiting for a break. I mean, everything has been. The only good thing I got going for me is the job that I have, but it's basically at the end of January, I have to be out of this house that I've been in, and I don't have a clue where I'm going to go or how I'm going to afford it. So I might end up homeless for a little while I'm working to save up a security deposit and first month, last month's rent on the next place. Car problems and everything else have just been eating up everything that I have been able to put together, and it literally paycheck to paycheck drained my account to the last dollar. Just waiting to get a break. Every time I get a free paycheck, it ends up going into my vehicle. So, I mean, I've had everything go wrong with that. And just yesterday, again, it wouldn't start for me. So, I'd finally got it started after trying for about 20 minutes. That's my life. I get up to go to work and I got to get out there about an hour early just to make sure my car starts. Uh, oh, well, anyway, map conversion process is has been going. There's a lot that has to be done. You can see uh, the 16x terrain is here, and the road system has been brought in. I've been messing around with some things. Let me go to the overview of the lands. The lands are finished dividing up all the lands, so you can see all the boxes you can purchase. There's a lot of different prices. I haven't really set the scales to where I want them finally to be yet, but you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. You can purchase the island, for instance, and the mining area and some surrounding areas. Different fields. Sometimes the lands have one or two, and yeah, so just. But that part is complete. All the lands have been divided. This one here is one big chunk with four fields in it. So that's pretty much. That took quite a while. The process where I am right now is doing the terrain and foliage, and I have imported several of the exist non-functional, meaning they don't have no factories or anything yet. That will come down the road, hopefully. But right now, what I'm focusing on is just getting the terrain done, completely done and converted over with all the foliage and all of that stuff fixed. Some of the textures need to be redone because of the way they do the new texture system, so they have to be repainted. There's a lot of little, uh, I'd call them little like ridges that appear in the conversion process in the terrain itself where they weren't there before, but the way the smoothing worked out, uh, little bumps, so there's a lot of smoothing that has to go on. But you can see as far as the city, that a lot of the city buildings have been brought in as we go through, and you saw the racetrack. I'm going to just go up to a little bit of where it stands once we get through the city. Everything seems to be working really well. Water planes had to be redone. That is done. I can tab quickly and show you that I do have four of the trains running. Uh, the new trains from, I think it was the US map, and they are running. I have not been able to figure out yet how to get our own custom trains and train cars into the map, but I haven't really tried that much either. So, hey, Brew Crew 304, how you doing? So, focus right now is to get all the foliage, all the terrain, build the farm, starting farms, get you guys some customized placeable objects, get the fruits back into the map, and then get a release where you can at least start playing with the new landscaping features that are coming. They're currently in beta, which I do have installed. You'll be able to mess around a little bit. You'll see a lot of objects from other maps, from the new maps as well, because I want to see what we can import and add to this. I'm going to head over to. So, yeah, there's a lot missing when you take out all the factories that we were working on. But in the long run, I'm hoping that we can use script like the Fabric script or the M Company script with the new placeable system so that you guys can put factories where you want. We'll have places, but yeah, with the landscaping, you can turn a parking lot into a field and a field back into a parking lot. So there will be a lot of flexibility. I'll give you the starting landscape and then hopefully get some placeable factories down the road as we get some more scripts available. I honestly haven't been able to browse for mods and stuff too much to see if anybody's been working on any of those projects like the M Company graphic script for FS19 or stuff like that. So, yeah, right now I want to work on getting the foliage in the terrain. As you can see, there's a lot of work to be done. There's no grass planted on this part of the map. I am heading over to a part of the map, and I did get the border in. You can see the mountains back in the border where we have some grass planted up in here, and all the fields are working, which is a good sign. So, give you an idea, I did want to do the conversion because there are so many cool new things that we can do, such as on the volcano, we have the ability to actually put the cuttable palm trees and stuff down there. So this is kind of what I've been working on with the foliage textures and stuff. The new grass style, I planted some weeds in there so they will disappear after you mow it the first time or whatnot. Putting in a lot more foliage into the forest areas. So just trying to go section by section, call it done, and move on to bring in more foliage. So we can kind of, yeah, I got to put some the ramps to cross the railroad tracks. Please don't roll over. Oh crap. I don't have a mod to flip it back over. I do have a money mod though. Just my we got to come back over here. Uh that is just the way it goes. Let me get another truck here and drive back over. Oh, I don't really care what color it is. I just want to get through and give you guys some kind of idea what the heck we got going on here. So, back over to this part. So, yeah, I had to redo a lot of the graphic terrain. The new vehicle shop is just sitting here so I can purchase vehicles. Uh, I want to expand the fence line around that for the whole lot eventually. You can see the new warehouse is in back there. The main dock area. But things like the train tracks and stuff, they seem to be higher. I gotta work some more issues around those. Just lots and lots of little things that need to be done. But yeah, just converting over the water planes alone took a little bit of time. Uh, there's a huge difference between the way the textures look now on the mountains compared to the way they will look when I repaint them. And you'll get a better idea of some of that as we go around the map. Yeah, there's some good things, but there is always a learning curve. So that's a big thing. Uh, Getting the terrain in was not too hard, but like I said, there are little things that are have appeared in the terrain, little ridges that I have to get out everywhere I go. Repaint all the foliage as I go around. Uh, it's going to be kind of cool with the new cotton and stuff. That's already in. We're starting with the base crops, and I'll go back and once we get the terrain done and see how it goes with adding the all the crops back in that we had. But yeah, once we get to a certain point, when all I get past this stage, get the starter farms built and starting placeable objects built in on the map, then we can get some sort of release underway. But I can't give you a time frame. I just have no idea where life is going right now. So hang in there. I do want to get this thing complete and just keep on working on it until we have, as we go along. I really liked the map as it was going in FS19. It's just that it's been a struggle. It really has, and I couldn't see finishing that up at this point, and I just ran into a tree. So, a little bit of overview. Yeah, a look at the forest and the foliage through the forest, and it's huge, and you will have to buy the forest. I'm going to try to stay away from the major scripts like the Russian factory script. Oh my gosh. We are lagging out through the forest, which never happened until, of course, now in this live stream. I thought I had that problem fixed. The game is freezing up. Is this because of the 1.2 beta update? Oh, I am gonna get out of here, hopefully. Wow, talk about major lag issue there. Let me get out of this area. Kind of gives you an idea, though. It'll be pretty cool. So basically, the way I'm going to try to stick to more of what Giants has intended rather than using super specialty scripts that change the whole way the whole map works. So yeah, the roads, been putting in the grass and bushes, and taking out factories because I will hopefully want you to be able to place them where you want down the road. That's the plan anyway. I hope I can get through this video with these big, huge 60 frame per second, but I'm frozen. 1.2 went live. It's no longer beta, but on Steam, for some reason, the only thing I have is the beta. Maybe it's not up on Steam yet, and I had to buy it on Steam because that's the only place I had money. Freeze frame. Yeah, come on. I don't want to start this. I'm going to save. Oh, maybe that. Let me see if it can save the game there. Maybe that. I hear the engine moving, but my vehicle isn't moving. And it's not a frame rate drop. It's literally just a freeze up of the game. Maybe I'll start it over. I saved it. The truck should be here when we get back. So let's see what happens here. We'll load it back in and start and see if we can get moving again. 1.2.0.1 is the current version. All right, I'll have to take a look and see why mine did not update to that version. But like I said, I just been, whenever I can, jumping in here and trying to get it going, and I didn't have this issue until just now. And I'm going to the other pickup tabbed in. It wouldn't tab to the other pickup. What the heck's up with that deal? It did. Maybe it didn't purchase it. No, I don't know. Let's see. We'll go a different direction this time because you saw up in that corner. Let's head down this way. We'll cross over this bridge. So yeah, bringing in all my textures as well was quite a pain. All the coal and all the sand, gravel, all the different textures that I'm using on this map had to be re-imported and reworked so that they work. Thanks, Never Back Down. Like I said, just wanted to give you a brief update. We're going to keep continuing to work on it. Railroad crossings are working. Oh man, I don't like the fact that it's skipping though. I hope I don't freeze up again. Or it might be a longer show than I intended. But we'll see if we can get through. There's a lot of cool, like, ports and stuff that are in a couple of the other maps. You can see one floating, and boats and barges for decoration, like that one out in the distance that I'm leaving in the maps till I'm ready to place them. But you can see the water planes are in all the way around. Let's go this way. But it's right now I'm in foliage and tree planting mode, and I have just started up in the northwest corner of the map, so it's gonna be a little bit. Hey Gordon, somebody released extra fruits. I will take a look when I get there. Like I said, that's one good thing. I don't have a lot of time lately to work on this, so things should be out before I need them. I mean, I'm sure there will be some type of factory script out there before I am even ready to create them. This is where importing the whole forest is going to be fine and easy to do all the trees through here. The only thing is I didn't do them yet because I want to paint the foliage in on the ground first before I bring stuff over. So section by section, it will be done. This is where the whole campgrounds area is and needs to be reworked. But yeah, there's little ridges, like I just hit one, that weren't there before, but are now. Uh, I have worked on the island quite a bit, so we're going to head over there. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that donation. I can't even read your name. My eyes are so. Yeah. I missed it. Where is it? Grabby Latouche donated $50. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. It's gonna help out quite a bit. You won't believe how much right now it will help out. Uh, so basically, that's it. I don't know where I'm gonna be living. I don't know how I'm gonna be surviving. Every paycheck I ended up when I got this week's paycheck, I had $1 left in my account, and uh, I had a really good deal here, paying $500 a month. Things did not go well with my roommate. He ran into some problems. He was had to be removed from my house. Uh, the people upstairs decided to move out. So the people that I'm renting from decided that they were going to sell the house. There was a showing just a week ago. Right now they're doing the inspection so because they have a buyer and stuff. So my time frame here is limited. With all my car problems, I have not been able to save up enough for a security deposit for a new place. And right now, the option for me to go back where I was is up in the air. I don't know if I can. So, yeah, I have no idea what's going to happen. Just taking it day by day. So, the island, all the cuttable trees are back here on the volcano. All these palms are cuttable. I finished doing the grass. You'll be able to come in here, chop down, build your own fields. With the landscaping tools, you should be able to do quite. I haven't even played with the landscaping tool yet. I just tested to make sure it was in. But I did take quite a while to figure out how to get my lava flowing back down, and it looks pretty decent flowing down the volcano. So that is done. And put all of our cuttable trees. Now, if I was to purchase the island, whoops, let's see. It would cost me, how much is it going to cost me to buy the volcano? 31 million. Yeah, let's buy it. I had enough. So now I own it, and now we should be able to, if I purchase a chainsaw. I don't even, you, I've barely even played the game, much less uh, just in testing. I haven't played the game hardly at all. So you guys know a lot more about what's going on here than me. Let's see if I can cut the trees. I did test one. It's a little bit different in this version. There we go. So yeah, we'll be able to clear out the island trees. Thank you, Delay91 for the $5 donation. Every little bit helps, believe me. So yeah, you'll be able to clear out and decide what you want to do, where you want to do with all the new features in the editor. I really like the changes they made because, I mean, the changes they made are what we've been looking for since we really started Fences way back in 2013, but couldn't do it because the engine couldn't handle it. And with the new landscaping features, which I believe are in the store, if we start landscaping and switch to painting, thank you, Amaki, for the $50. And let's see, brush size, brush strength. So let me see if I can figure out how to do this. We want painting. What do you tab to it? Let's see. Change oh, C. Modification is paint. Um, no, that's raise the terrain. I'm just trying to figure it out. Anybody? Oh, that's change modification shape. Is it? What switches me to the paint mode? I'm going to watch the chat so I can figure out. Change landscaping mode, X. There we go. Uh, and ground type, change ground type is, so yeah, we can brush in some roads. Da-da-da-da, switch paint ground type tab. That's the one. So if I wanted to build a road off of here to put, or put a shed over here, will it remove trees? No, it won't. So you'll still have to cut down your own trees. But yeah, you can really be able to customize the maps to put things where you want when it is done. For a minute there, I was thinking, what is even the point of making a map now if people can do it whatever they want? So, but yeah, it'll be cool. It's nice to be able to build your lots and parking lots and put things where you want. So you'll just have a really huge landscape to do it in. And we can finish going around the volcano. So yeah, my goal is to all the orchards to make placeables that you can put wherever you want that will just fit into the system later when we get the scripting to do for it. Right now, finished landscape, finished the foliage, the trees, section by section. So it's like this area here is pretty much ready to go. You've got grass, you've got bushes, you've got the trees. Get the whole map done, and then give you all the fruit types we had. Build some train stations and some starting farms, and then give you a release of the map, and then work on the functioning placeable factories and stuff that you can drop in later and build up a library of those when that time comes. So, yeah, the landscaping doesn't change the map, it adds a save game, but you will be able to do quite a bit with that. Uh, as the time goes along, I am making some changes because there's a lot of cool things that we have to bring in, like, and I'll put in some starting placeables like the horse training areas and stuff. But I guess in reality, you could make the island whatever you wanted. You could bring in, for instance, let's see, do I have any money left? If I haven't even played with this as much as you guys. Let's go to you can put your farmhouse right up here on the island, hopefully. Object collides with an object. That should disappear pretty soon once we get up to where I was going to go. Heck, you want to build it right up here on the side of the volcano. You could almost terrain there were places. Nope, can't do it there. Can't be placed here. I was going to get over to where I have that lot, which is right up here somewhere. Uh-oh, I'm stuck. There we go. Go in this direction. I see my tire tracks. Whoops. I kind of clicked out of the screen there. I got too many windows open. So yeah, if you could drop a farmhouse up here. It is the farmhouse from the uh that's basically what I waited for. I waited till I had all the assets from the Estancia Lapacho map and brought the new stuff in because we already had many of those textures and stuff already going on. So hopefully we'll get quite a few different style houses, but you can bring in and maybe resculpt your terrain and stuff. Do we have the animal farms? Where are they? Animal pens. Let's bring in a cow pasture and put it up here as well. What the heck? And then let's go into painting mode, start landscaping, and ground type. Well, I could extend like so and build up roads or parking lots around my house. Work on the grass. That's not the right one that matches, but yeah, it'll be kind of cool to be able to come in and just build your own complete farms wherever you want on this big map. Thank you for the subscription, Buey Bob. Appreciate that very much. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this because you guys will be able to do pretty much anything you want, where you want, and I want to just give you a very different, large terrain to build several areas up the way you want them. You might want to have all your animals out here. You might want to put orchards out on the island, but in when it's done, it's going to be pretty darn cool. Let me head back down this way. Thanks, Jacob. 2348. Not sure how much streaming I will be doing because I'd rather be working on it with what little time I have available and moving it forward. I just finished the island up today. I'm going to go back to finishing up this quarter of the map, and you can see I got to bring in the ports and stuff. That's why there's terrain that's just blah, nothing going on. I did smooth out over here. I did smooth out over here. The beach was much smaller, but we have a lot of cool beach assets and stuff to bring in from the new maps. So I made a nice extra large beach area that we'll be able to build up on. We've got, yeah, we're going to just use whatever we can. I mean, it's 16x map, and we've got tons of land. So when it's done, but I don't know when that's going to be. Uh, Wish I could tell you, but we'll see what goes on. Yeah, so I pretty much cut off. I did a lot of the grass through this side. Let me see if I can get over the train tracks without rolling over. Um, all the fields are ready. That is a big plus. So the crops are out on the fields. A lot of the grass up in this corner has been painted. I'm going to put some weeds through the grass too because I like the flower look it gives at least at the start. Um, you notice a difference in the textures. Maybe I could show you this a little bit better. The dirt road here is relatively smooth looking. The dirt road kind of where it used to be in sections, you will see a little bit of a pattern to it. So I'm trying to remove as much of that as possible. And that's the way it works with all the textures that have been redone. The way they imported in the old from the old map has the patternish to it, and the way they look in the new look much better. So it's a matter of redoing all of that. I'm leaving the main farm lots so you have places to build. We're going to build some starter farms on these areas. And thank you there for the bits, Jake. And then we'll keep going. I'm going to go back up in this corner to see if we can lag out again. So yeah, we'll build up some starter BGAs on the farms, and then you guys can remove and replace and do whatever you want as you see fit to redo the area. But I did start up in this top corner, and this is the area that is more done than anything. You could see the grass is all planted throughout here. So it kind of gives you an idea of what the finished area looked like. And been adding some extra terrain details like some roads with bush lines. LJ Stott, thank you for the 200 bits. Roads with some bushes. We've got the mango trees now, so there'll be different areas. For some reason, up here is a dead zone, and it never was. Let's take a train ride. Which train do we want? Probably train one. It kills my pickups. Two of them won't work. So yeah, I can't use the our custom trains yet. So the speed is going to be the slower speed until I figure out how. Does anybody know if anybody's figured out how to use their own custom trains? Are there any maps out there? Right now, the trains are done as placeables, and you get an error that the train has to be uh, existing placeable in order to use it. So I haven't even fiddled with that stuff yet. We're gonna work that out later and see how it goes. I will say this, the editor itself is much faster, thankfully, switching between things and importing and exporting. There's been a lot of work done on that, so there's not a lot of me sitting there watching the cursor spin like it was in the past to get things done. There is a custom train out there. Cool, I'll have to look into that. You can see this is you could definitely see the grass pattern here that will be easily removed as I rebrush this area later on. The under terrain grass pattern. There are areas where the train tracks weren't floating, but now they are just because of a simple like couple pixel ridge that was next to it that when converting the landscape over did not convert completely the way it was intended. You also need to replace the train XML with the one in the data folder. I have done that to get these working. It's just getting the uh, other train cars in. Pull the. Yeah, I'll take a better look at it in the future. But this is a perfect example right here. There is definitely a concrete slab pattern through this one that you can see that when I rebrush it, the pattern goes away. So as compared, and pig mud, the old pig mud has a real glossy texture to it until I redo it, and it doesn't look like mud at all. So I have to remove all that and bring in new mud areas. One side of the road here is done, the other is not. But yeah, it's kind of cool that at least things are starting to shape up. It's just gonna be a long time because there's a lot of painting to do on a 16x map, and you know how much I love that. Pull the files for the placeable train point. I will get you a link if I run across a map in the next month or so. Hey, whatever. I've got time. I'm just going to keep plugging away on the terrain itself. Same here. You can definitely see a grass pattern repeating. And as I rebrush the grass, it will go away. It won't look as definitely like a pattern. It blends itself a lot better with the new. But in order to do that, it all has to be repainted, which is time consuming. There's a really cool bridge that I've been trying to figure out a place to put. That big bridge that used to go off the map. We can use it on the map, but I haven't figured out a place here. Let me, because this will take forever. Let me see if I can get another vehicle running here. I have to figure out that other area, maybe that other error. Maybe when I get the new update, it'll go away. I'll look for that later on today too. Only reason why I was able to do a show tonight is because I don't have to work until like noon tomorrow. Months away from M Company. Yeah, there's plenty of work to do here, and we can get the map released and let you guys start playing around before it, and then, like I said, that's the cool thing about it. I want to get it so we have a finished terrain, all the visuals are in the map, and all the crops are in the map. And then from that point, we shouldn't have to do any changes, just add more placeable factories, put more placeable functioning objects. Well, we need train stations and stuff built in the starter farms too. But then just keep building on that as time comes. So the biggest part is getting the map out there and fully functioning for you guys to use it. The way the trains are even placeable, we might even be able to. I'll have to look more into that, but it'd be kind of cool if you could swap your own trains out as placeable objects right on the rails. Did they make changes the way you add crops? I know there are changes. I haven't started to add a crop type yet, so we'll see what happens when we get to that point. Uh, it's going to be pretty interesting. We've got the speedway in, but there's a good example of the concrete slab that has been repainted, so the pattern isn't as noticeable as it was over on the other side of the map. Same way with the grass, it just blends a lot better. It doesn't have that as much of a repeating pattern. It's a little bit more smoothed out because they've got this new way of taking four textures and uh, adding noise to remove patterns in Underfull. I haven't done too much with it. We can always down the road make improvements to those once I figure out how to master that new system. But that doesn't have to happen now. This side you can see the pattern is more observant. The other side it wasn't. But there's the bridge I was just messing with. I do have it in. I might keep it there. I don't know. I just want to use it somewhere. But you guys will know that bridge from one of the new maps is not usable. It goes off. It's just a distance. Aw, man, don't tell me I froze again. I did freeze again. But you can see the speedometer still moving. And I'm still moving on the mini map. I'm just not moving on the game. Did anybody else ever experience that? I have no idea. Let's see if it can catch up here. Because I wanted to go over to the bridge. It could be the truck. Who knows? What version is it? Can I tell what version I'm running? Saving game. Is there a place in the map itself, other than when you're loading up, to see your version of the map you are running? Maybe in the... Okay, I know that comes from blocked area. That's another error I have to fix. That's the one I think that's freezing me up. Blocked area map is wrong size for terrain. What is the blocked area map? I mean, I messed with the terrain. I can't find any of my blocked areas that are 1,000, or any of my textures that are. But yeah, that's definitely going to be what's freezing. That are 1,024 by 1,024 in the map. So I'm not so sure what the heck that is. But that is definitely, that's the first time I've seen it so many times. There's so many in there that it's not even moving. Yeah, good luck with that error. I gotta get it out of there. I don't know what it is. I've seen it in other people's logs. I've done the search, but see, I thought it had to do with the trains because if you see here on the screen, every time a train is loaded, it gave one. Then the next train was loaded, it gave another one. The next train was loaded, it gave another one, and that's where it starts. So I thought it had something to do with the trains, and apparently it doesn't. I'm just going to scroll up to the top. There's another error I know how to fix. I haven't done it. Uh, what version of the game am I running? Does it say? 1.2.0.0B, which is the beta on Steam, I guess. I don't know. So you're telling me there's a newer one out there than what I have? That might take care of some of the issues. And I'm still frozen up. And it seems to be. Let's see, if I tab to the next vehicle, it's okay. It's very strange. Okay, opt out of beta. You can check out the GDM forum under editor. There's a post there about that error. All right, I looked through the briefly. I didn't see it, but I'll find out if I can find that error in there. Let's see how far I can get this time. Well, I had the garages I had on PV17. Those take stuff out of the server when the gates are closed. I don't know how to do that completely because that was built into the main Russian script. Hopefully somebody will come up with something like that. What I think we can do is recreate the garage so it can be a placeable with working doors, hopefully. And we can adjust the clip distance inside the garage so when you park in it like we used to with the clip distance blocker so that whenever a vehicle's in there, it drops the clip distance on the vehicle down to a really low level. Something like that might be done. We'll look at that. Yeah, when it talks about creating a placement map. All right, I will look into that and see if we can figure it out. Might have to do with the trains because they are placeable. Creating a placement map. We will see what that is. Thanks for the info. That's another reason why I just wanted to jump in. Just to see if you guys had any issue for any of the issues that I have, because you guys have helped me out more than you can imagine. So I did put the bridge in here just to quickly to see how it worked. But this bridge that you couldn't use in the other map, technically, oh man, I can't even get up over it though. Ooh, I jumped out and the truck moved, but now I can't get in the truck. So yeah, that error. We'll walk up the bridge. There we can see off the distance. It's a big bridge that model that Giants made, but they made it so you couldn't cross it. I made it so you could. And I was trying to find a place over the water and everything to use it, but I couldn't. Placeable bridges might be interesting too now, being able to place them in. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that we'll be working on in the future just to customize your whole area. But you could see here, that's a good example of the blending of because I repainted this whole mountain with the new texture. If you look at the texture on the mountain right there, it's a little bit more smoothed out and blended. And if I go over to another area of the map and compare an area that has not been. We'll get a better idea of it down here as we're running around the map now. I keep crashing in vehicles. It's another collision map. Okay. We'll get an idea of a non-repainted area versus a repainted area and the difference in the textures. You can already see, I can anyway. Oh, don't know if you can with your eyes there. In the distance, the pattern that exists in the old texture and why things have to be repainted as I go around the map. Take another look really quick at the way the rock flows on this side of the map and how natural it looks compared to the same texture in there, not repainted yet, over here, and how it has a definite pattern to it that repeats itself, which doesn't make it look nearly as nice. So that is why you can see how the pattern repeats over and over, and it is very evident. So everything has to be repainted as I go around the map too, just to take care of all those little things. Yeah, the painting is just from porting it. When you port it over, you get the old texture because there's 4 new textures being used on the new ones. Only 1 on the old, so you have to repaint. And I can actually, because I'm going to be finished here real quick, give you a couple looks at editor changes. What the heck? Do it like old times. PV Industries 19X Map SA. We'll load that up. And it is definitely a lot faster to when you're selecting objects around the map, which is making things a lot easier. So it was getting really, really. Yeah, if I figure out the blocked area error, I will let you know on Twitch or Facebook. Yep, I can do that, never back down. So you can see my water planes. Everything's been in. We redid the island. We have the new textures. But I'll give you an example of what happens when you take an old piece of mountain here. Let me set it up. There are, which drives me nuts, the sea textures here. So combined mountain rock is actually a setting that uses mountain rock 1, 2, 3, and 4. So when you bring this mountain rock texture in, it's mountain rock texture 1 only. But when we go back over it using the combined mountain rock texture, which is this one here, and let's set it up so that we're doing our slopes. Oh, let's see if I can find it here. Da 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 da. I am so out of practice too. Radius value, it's replacement limit. No, oh, we're not in terrain. Did they change this in the editor since the last time? Oh, here it is, slope limit. We're gonna do from 10 degrees to 90 degrees. We'll do it from 15 to 90. So we have some dirt areas. That's where it was. So you can see it's changing definitely and removing the pattern and making it more natural as we go over and repaint everything. So that is why I have to go over every inch of the stinking terrain to make it just look better with the brushes again. But it's an instant change, much more natural. As far as these ridges, that's exactly a good indication of what else happened in the conversion process. We didn't have nearly as many of these sharp ridges, so I have to go through and knock down some of those, and then they're ever so slight sometimes, but oh, the 16x script still does work in the editor. And see how fast it worked too to bring it up? I mean, everything works a lot faster. But that is a good example of the grass before painting right there. And if we switch to the new combined grass and paint, or is that already paint? Yeah, paint right here. You could see how it blends it so there's a lot less of a pattern. And it looks quite a lot better in the game as well. There's definitely a bigger pattern on the outside here, but as we go through, we can remove it and the undertones of the grass look a lot better. So all that has to be redone everywhere. And yeah, just a lot of these holes need to be filled where the farms were. But these are the ridges that I'm talking about. You can definitely see a ridge that runs through this farm here that has to be smoothed out. And they appear randomly in small transition areas. Like before, like there's a little dip right there that wasn't there before, just because it over exaggerated some of the transitions in the map. So we've got a few extra bumps that we have to work out. There's places where the railroad tracks are just floating a little bit too high, stuff that didn't exist from the terrain transfer process that is in the map now, and especially around the roads because there was a slight transition. So all around these roads eventually have to be smoothed back out with the smooth tool. Anywhere where there was a transition in the maps, it seems to be just a slight bit sharper than it used to be. Like right there was never a problem on this road with a big bump because it was a lot smoother. But now there is a definite ridge running through the road that we need to just take out. So I'm going to be going around the map in the next several weeks. Hopefully we'll get this taken care of, rebuilding, uh, putting in the new towns and stuff. You can see that forest area alone. I got to fix that one error, but there's areas in the fields that have to be redone and take some ridges out. And then we'll get this map out to you guys uh, when we get there. So yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's a lot of work and a lot of painting. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Um, I'm not gonna disappear until I'm homeless, or there is. Yeah, I don't like I said. It's been rough. I've been going through a lot of different struggles right now, about 5 of them, to be honest with you, all at the same time, and from day to day. Some days I just have a hard time on a day off even getting out of bed because I don't know what to expect. There's no certainty of where I'm going to be living, what I'm going to be driving. Only good thing that's going out of everything is my job at Walmart, so I've been making the best of that. I've only been there 6 months. I'm already training to be a customer service manager that hopefully will happen in about, well, it'll probably be another 2 months I'm on the last part right now, learning the customer service desk. Started as a cashier, and then I've learned several other different things, and I just have the last part of customer service desk. But of course, I'm learning that right now in the Christmas season when it's going to be super busy and stressful, but it takes my mind off of everything else. So, uh, at least for that, I mean, I've had my one of my aunts pass away that I couldn't make it back to her, which I loved dearly. She was a wonderful woman, but I just couldn't make it back home to what I call home, where I grew up, 4 hours away to for her wake and funeral because I couldn't afford to miss work. Number one, number two, I couldn't. My car. I'm lucky I get back and forth to work in it. Number two, I wouldn't take the risk of driving it 4 hours. Uh, and my living situation, everything is just up in the air right now. I'm just hoping I have a place to live. And when I do get that place to live, see, I had a really good deal here. It was $500 a month, all utilities included. And with part time, which is averaging about 35 hours a week at Walmart, it is tough when you take one paycheck a month to pay your car, and then I mean your house, and then the next one you're paying making payments on a car that barely runs, and all the rest of the bills and food, and then there's nothing left to save for a security deposit on my next place, or to save for, I think I just ruined the railroad track there, yeah. And every time I get that something left, it's time to do another repair on the car. That's the way it's been. So, yeah, I just got to get through. And when I get myself into the next place, I don't know where it's going to be. I don't know what kind of internet connection I'm going to be able to get. I don't even know. I mean, I've literally looked at some places that I had an opportunity to go into, but they were literally, and I might come to that, they were literally uh, dive places in dangerous areas that, I just don't want to go there. Sometimes I feel like going into a community house with a bunch of drug addicts isn't exactly the best place to move, and you might be better off under a bridge on some side street, you know? I don't know. So, yeah, that's pretty much the places that I can afford right now and get into if I decide so choose. So, we'll see what happens. Especially in my shape, the way I've been. And I have been struggling with depression as well through all of this. So, yeah, it's just been rough. So, there's another one of those ridges that appeared right along the road there that has to come out. So, all in all, I got to get past a lot of things and before I can get any definite. But in time, hopefully things pass and get at least somewhat back to normal, and then we can get back into a better regular streaming and you know working on the map schedule, which has just seemed to be impossible. So I do it when I can. Yep. I can't drive my house, but I can sleep in my car. And you know what the cool thing is? I could do it right in my Walmart parking lot, even if the car isn't running. Because, but it's cold up here in the wintertime, and I need a place to take a shower. I've got some friends that could help out with that on occasion. But yeah, I literally, you don't know how. I mean, some of you may, but when it comes down to that, you don't know what your. It literally looks that bad when you open up your cabinets and you say, hey, I don't know if I'm going to have a meal tomorrow. I have had days where I've had to skip meals because it's that tight and I haven't had any food left. Uh, or you got to go to a. I haven't gone to soup kitchens yet, but hey, might have to do that. So you never know. Once I get, the funny thing is, I got a job for years. I sat here 6 years living where I did, living in my sister's house, and I didn't have to worry about any concerns. I try to get my life back together, get out there, get a job, get my own place where I could live, and everything instantly goes to crap. Got a vehicle. I just don't understand. I have been trying to make sense of all this. I'm trying to do what I should be doing, and everything is not going according to the way I had perceived it anyway. So it's just frustrating as can be. Yeah, it isn't nice, and it's not even. I mean, I moved out here and lived here for 6 years because things didn't go well back at home. Took me a long time to get over that, and no sooner did I do it, a couple of years later, I feel like I'm right back to where I was. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see, and we'll keep fighting on through. That's all I can say. So, thanks, guys. I'm gonna get out of here today. Thank you guys for the help. I'm gonna post this up to YouTube, and then I'll link to it on Facebook if you missed any. I just wanted to let you know I'm still here, still kicking, still above ground, and just trying to get by and do what we can. But work is continuing, but it has to be at my own pace. That's all there is to it right now. Love you all. Thanks for your support, and I will catch up with you soon. Hopefully, we'll see you around the corner.